From a small piece of currency to a worthless piece of trash, the penny has transformed through many phases throughout the American years. And tonight's special is the controversy of the American penny. Hello there. This is the controversy of the American penny. I'm your host, Bryce. Today we're going to be going over some general facts about the penny, the history of it, and some public opinions on it, and how the penny might be gone pretty soon. We are here in sunny, beautiful Verona, Wisconsin, where we went to the local high school to ask some people what their opinions were on the American penny and what should be done about it. We first interviewed John, a student here at Verona Area High School. So tell me, John, what do you think of when you hear the word penny?
When I think of a penny, I think of that useless coin you find under your couch that you're just going to throw away.
Has the penny ever been useful to you?
As you know, the United States government loses money every time it manufactures a penny. So we should just stop manufacturing the penny.
So when was the last time you ever bought something with a penny? I mean, if ever.
You know, thinking back about it, I actually never bought anything ever with my penny.
Do you have any memories with a penny, say, throwing one to a wishing well?
Actually, I do have some memorable experiences in the penny. When I was little, my brother used to find coins all the time on the ground. So I told him that I put them on the ground because I wanted the penny.
One of the cheapest things that comes to mind to me, personally, is a gumball. But even that is a quarter.
I don't think a penny is worth all that we're putting into it.
Do you have any last thoughts on the penny?
Overall, I don't think a penny is worth all that it is.
Alright, well, thanks for coming in, John.
I'm pleased to have you too.
And now, let's go to some self-interviews sent in by some concerned viewers, Shayunk and Patrick.
To be quite honest, I've never actually considered the penny to be useful. We saw at Six Flags the other day, it was just thrown over the edge, uselessly into holes or whatever, just for sport. It never really seems to be used. If you go to a store and you owe like a couple pennies left or just change, they'll just grab it from their tips can or something. So it doesn't really matter. So I consider it rather worthless. I've never really bought something with a penny.
What do you think when you hear the word penny? Well, it's US currency at the rate of not being used. Well, because it doesn't worth that much. As you know, pennies are increasingly regarded as worthless. Should the United States get rid of the penny? I would say, of course, they should, because every year United States make at least 80 million pennies, at which it takes 1.7 cents to make one penny. So we are at a loss from the very start. And we spend $136 million to make $80 million worth of currency. And let's be honest and face it, that it's worthless. Nobody uses it. If you see a penny on a road, I'm sure it would hurt your ego if you even pick that up. Has penny ever been useful to you? I don't think it's useful to us, because if you look at a pond, if you look at a water reservoir anywhere in mall or anywhere, you see pennies just literally thrown in that thing. That's how it is worth. You won't see anybody throwing a quarter, because they know you can buy a bubble gum from any vending machines. It's bad too. That's it.
Hello. My name is Robert M. Waples, Professor of Economics at Wake Forest University. You may be asking yourselves, are you a robot? The answer to that is, yes. I am a robot. That is why I am so smart. According to my research, the United States loses about $900 million just from the penny. I have suggested that we switch to rounding to the nearest 5 cents and get rid of the penny. According to my research, it seems that this will save lots of money. I based my research on data from a week's worth of transactions from 20 locations of a gas station and convenience store chain in Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee and Virginia. Customers wouldn't lose from rounding our current prices.
We decided to derive a social experiment where we would take 2 pennies, put them on the ground, and see if anyone would pick them up during the passing time. Did anyone pick them up? Let's watch the clip. As you can see, nobody thought it was worth their time to pick up the penny. And now, let's go to an interview with financial advisor Greg.
I think of 1 cent, a little piece of copper.
Has a penny ever been useful to you?
Not really. I mean, not really.
When was the last time you bought something with a penny?
Never. Nope, not even when I was a kid.
Do you have any memorable experiences with the penny?
You know, you always used to collect them when you were a kid. You'd collect the old ones and see, look at the dates and collect the old ones. But besides that, not really.
As you may know, pennies are increasingly being regarded as worthless. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Things go to 5-cent increments. Maybe you can find a 3-cent increment or something. They don't develop a new cheap nickel coin that's 2 or 3 cents, as opposed to a copper 1 cent, which costs more than it takes to produce. Is an option.
Do you have any last comments here?
The biggest thing with the penny is that it costs more to produce a penny than it's worth. That's the biggest thing. So it doesn't make any sense at all for us to have a coin that costs more to produce than it's worth. That makes absolutely no sense. And given that pennies are just kind of thrown in penny jars, and that makes no sense. So you either go to a 5-cent increment, or alternatively find a cheap nickel. Find a coin made out of nickel or some cheaper thing like a 2 or 3 or 4 cent coin where you figure that out. But pennies, there's no reason to keep them around anymore. Primarily because it costs more to make them than to keep them.
All right, thank you. And now, we want to show you, the viewers, a short PSA about the penny from a concerned viewer.
We're all here in the Old West, and I'm tired and cold and I'm hungry and I don't got any money. Earl, could you spare any change for me, for a poor old man like me? Oh, thanks, man. Just like I got like 4 cents. With this money, I can buy my dinner. I can buy some nice soup and sandwiches. Oh boy, I'm so happy right now. It's 2016, and I'm in the city. I'm tired, cold, I'm hungry, and I really wish I could buy some dinner. You have some money by chance?
Here, man.
4 cents. I can't buy nothing with this stuff.
Go to www.murderthatpenny.com to learn more.
The Federal Reserve has estimated that replacing paper $1 bills with more durable $1 coins could save $500 million a year. What I've outlined in my research is the cost that we impose on ourselves by having pennies, by having this emotional attachment to the penny.
And this has been tonight's special of The Controversy of the American Penny. Thank you all for watching.
Like, there was this one time where I actually was spending a penny. So, that's not really me spending well. I was checking out my toilet paper, and then there was a guy like, you're going to pay like $10 for this toilet paper. And I was like, well, I'm paying that. So I took out my knife and I mugged him. And I got my toilet paper, but also I looked in the cash register and I got a lot of pennies. Well, it's not really spam, but I saw total pennies. Basically, my shows that pennies are pretty useful little things. I mean, I could take the $100 bill, but I was like, I really want the penny, so I took the $100 bill and I threw it in the trash, and I took the penny instead.